When it comes to insects, most people think of tiny annoyances buzzing around picnics or ruining a good night's sleep. But believe it or not, some of these miniature menaces pack a venomous punch that could make even the toughest critters in the animal kingdom jealous. From wasps that act like they've just chugged an espresso to ants that could bring down a small animal, these little villains prove that size isn't everything. Let's take a closer look at some of the most poisonous insects in the world, because apparently, Mother Nature enjoys making tiny things terrifying. Bullet ant, Paraponera clavata. Let's talk about the infamous bullet ant, a tiny creature with a sting that's the stuff of nightmares. This ant doesn't just sting you, it delivers the most excruciating pain known in the insect world. Why is it called the bullet ant? Because the pain is often compared to being shot. Their venom contains a neurotoxin called ponerotoxin, which paralyzes the victim's muscles and causes intense waves of pain, lasting up to 24 hours. If you're wondering where to avoid this little sadist, they're found in Central and South America, primarily in rainforests. Despite their pain-inducing reputation, they play a role in some indigenous coming-of-age ceremonies, where young people endure stings to prove their bravery. Talk about a rite of passage. Japanese giant hornet, Vespa mandarinia japonica. The Japanese giant hornet isn't your average wasp. It's enormous, about the size of your thumb, and packs a venom that's not only painful but destructive. The venom contains cytotoxins that break down tissue, and even hemolysins that destroy red blood cells. Fun fact, its sting is so powerful it can melt human skin at the sting site. Oh, and it can sting multiple times because it doesn't lose its stinger. Found mostly in rural Japan, these hornets are aggressive if provoked, and can even take out an entire hive of bees in minutes. They're sometimes called murder hornets because of their sheer deadliness. Stay out of their way unless you enjoy the idea of nature's equivalent of a flying tank coming after you. Black widow spider, Latrodectus. All right, let's bend the rules a little. Yes, it's technically a spider, not an insect, but the black widow deserves a spot on this list. Famous for their glossy black bodies and iconic red hourglass markings, these spiders are small, but pack a venom that's 15 times more potent than a rattlesnake's. Their venom contains a neurotoxin called latrotoxin, which causes severe muscle cramps, intense pain, and sometimes nausea or paralysis. While bites are rarely fatal, they're not a picnic either. Female black widows are the stars of this nightmare, as males are significantly less venomous. These spiders are found worldwide, usually in dark corners and crevices, so watch your step and your hands. Harvester ant, Pogonomyrmex. Harvester ants are the quiet but deadly members of the insect world. Their venom is the most toxic among ants, with a sting that delivers more venom than a honeybee sting. Found in the Americas, these ants are best known for their organized colonies and ability to work together to take down threats. The sting is not just painful, but potent enough to kill small animals. For humans, the effects include burning pain and sometimes allergic reactions. Interestingly, scientists have studied their venom for potential medical applications. But let's be honest, most of us just want to avoid their wrath. Tsetse fly. The tsetse fly is less about sting and more about bite, because this tiny pest is a master of biological warfare. Native to sub-Saharan Africa, the tsetse fly feeds on blood and delivers a nasty cocktail of venomous saliva and parasites. This little vampire is responsible for transmitting sleeping sickness, a disease caused by trypanosoma parasites, leading to fever, fatigue, and, if untreated, neurological damage. The bite itself is painful, often leaving a large sore. These flies are attracted to dark colors and movement, so if you're ever in tsetse territory, your best bet is to avoid wearing bright or dark clothing and steer clear of their buzzing paths. Who needs fictional monsters when these flies exist? Africanized honeybee, Apis mellifera scutellata. The Africanized honeybee, or killer bee, might sound like something from a cheesy horror movie, but these little buzzers are a real-life nightmare. They're a hybrid species of the European honeybee and the African honeybee, bred for their productivity, but infamous for their aggression. While their venom isn't more potent than that of a regular honeybee, their danger lies in their sheer numbers. Africanized honeybees swarm and attack in large groups, delivering multiple stings that can overwhelm both animals and humans. These bees will chase a threat for over a quarter mile and are more likely to attack with less provocation than other bees. Found in the Americas, they've been spreading since the 1950s, so maybe keep your distance and avoid swatting, unless you want the entire squad to show up. Tarantula hawk wasp, Pepsis. If you think tarantulas are terrifying, wait until you meet the tarantula hawk wasp. This creature doesn't just sting you, it stings tarantulas, paralyzing them with its venom and then dragging them back to its lair as live food for its offspring. Nature is wild, isn't it? Its sting, however, is one of the most painful in the insect world, described as instantaneous electrifying pain that completely shuts down your ability to do anything but scream. Found in deserts and warm climates, these wasps are about 2 inches long and have striking metallic blue bodies with orange wings. The good news? They're not aggressive toward humans unless provoked. The bad news? If you're unlucky enough to get stung, you'll remember it for the rest of your life and probably wish you hadn't been so curious.